Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from KAC3 Group 4. Today we will present the analysis of the 25 stories that we have gathered from local Malay news, local English news, feature writing and international news. Before we go through the analysis, we will show a short preview of our visual news scrapbook. We can see the differences between news and feature writing in terms of timing, style, format, and the role that they held. Firstly, in terms of timing, this is the major difference between a news story and a feature story. News story is time sensitive as its aim is to publish news stories and convey information as quickly as possible after an event occurs. Therefore, news stories are quite short and direct. However, feature stories are not as time-dependent and contain no urgent content. It can be written any time after an event occurs, as they are aimed at readers who want to know more and broaden their understanding. Secondly, let's take a look at the style between both of them. In a news story, which emphasis on content goes straight to the point, which is average is 300 to 500 words in a news story, by using simple and effective words to deliver the facts quickly. Feature stories, however, are often more wordy and they have a creative structure which can be more than 2,000 words. From format aspect, news stories are used inverted pyramid writing style, which from the most important information to the least important information. Meanwhile, feature story use essay format, which consists of introduction, body, and conclusion. But the most important difference between news and feature is about the role of a piece. Therefore, we have to know what type of information it relates to the readers and what the readers will learn rather than how long it is. News story tell about specific and timely event and it referred as hard news story include those about political topics, crime and so on. However, feature story talk about topics, events, individuals such as about hobby, medical, travel, personality, etc. That's all about the differences between news story and feature story. Let's move on to the analysis for every types of news.
Assalamualaikum, I am AFIFAH. I will talk about the headlines in local Malay news. Headlines are the most important part of writing in news stories because it is based on the story's main idea. The headline's purpose is to draw the reader's attention to the news story. Based on the analysis, the headlines in these 5 local Malay news are straightforward and concise, which means the short word and very few verbs have been used in the headlines. Overall, the headlines in these 5 local Malay news are all similar in using the big and bold fonts and run flash left for the most part. These 5 news headlines also type in sentences at the top of the news story.
Assalamualaikum and hi, I'm RUFAIDAH and I want to talk about the lead of local Malay newspapers. As we know, lead must tell reader the most important information in the story, so reader is interested to move on with the story. Okay, we have 5 types of local Malay newspapers generally about crime. From these 5 local Malay newspapers that have been reviewed, we have divided the lead into a percentage. These 5 local Malay newspapers use 100% summary lead. Lead on news stories answer 5W plus 1 hash question, which are who, when, where, why, and why. And 1 hash is how. Here, I also state features of summary lead. The summary lead have more than one major facts that need to be covered and outlines the news story in a brief paragraph.
I will continue with the inverted pyramid writing style in local Malay news. Based on the analysis, the writing style is written using the inverted pyramid in which information is presented in descending order of importance. These 5 news stories start with the most important information explaining the what, where, when, who, why, and how question, followed by the supporting information. The next structure is the additional facts and details, including the quotation, evidence, and background of the stories. These 5 news stories ended with the least important information at the bottom of the pyramid.
Hello, I am AZWA and I want to talk about headline and lead. We have an example of English local news. Firstly, what is headline? Headline is the important thing that every news must have. There are 4 types of headline: flash left headline, banner headline, inverted pyramid headline, and lastly is the cross-line headline. Okay, mostly of our English local news, headline is flash left headline. It is because flash left headline is a modern headline form that usually used, and it consists of 2 or 3 lines of headline. Okay. Now we go to the lead. In these 5 English local news, there are several types of lead. But today I give to an example in this English local news. There are bullet lead and descriptive lead. Bullet lead emphasize of short sentence, and descriptive lead is emphasized on great detail of scene or person.
I ATIQAH and I will talk about inverted pyramid in local English news. The body of the article from the 5 local English news written in the inverted pyramid form, and the story structure of the 5 articles started with the most important information, which is the conclusion of the story to hook the audience. The who, what, when, where, and why appear at the start of the story, followed by the supporting details and background information. Then, the next structure, the body, is the additional information and facts and also details that are revealed in order of importance. And this includes the quotes, the statistic, and the context. Some of them is controversy. In the second structure, the information would be very helpful, but it is not essential. The last structure is the tail, which is the extra information from the article, and it is also additional information that further tells the story.
I'm Azan will talk about analysis of features. First, according to the views of Saf and Hussein, the meaning of the features is more toward short essay for newspaper and magazines. Actually, headline used in features are features headlines. Usually, they have 3 words or more in length, but do not have a subject or verb. The second point is the format of features writing, which must follow the essay format as usual, starting with the introduction and then the body of content and conclusion. In the introduction, there is a lead. Based on 5 articles we are looking for, there are 2 cause-effect lead, 1 first-person lead, 1 suspended interest lead, and 1 creative lead. Third point, feature story has information that stimulates the mind of reader to think and interpret it. Besides, it's written by people who are skilled in a field. It can be seen at the end of writing feature story, there is the position or rank of a writer.
I am Nur Akilah Say. I will continue the analysis of feature story. Next, a feature story will not expire. Even the event is just a flashback. Even though an issue is hot and big like Macau scam issue, it can be saved for a few days and used when it necessary. Besides that, it focuses on the angle of writing to one aspect only. Based on the analysis, feature story have a reviews and author opinion on an issue raised. The author opinion has a specific purpose, such as asking the reader to think and also to make a judgment appeal to get reader sympathy for an event. that distinguish features and news writing, because news only show what is happening and do not include the author's opinion. Conclusion: feature stories are categorized as a unique art of writing. Also, feature stories is an exciting writing if it well was written.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is NURUL binti MAZNI FAIRUZ. My entry number 1980377. Based on my study in 10 international news about headline, the most commonly headline used was cross-line headline. Cross-line headline is a very simple word, a very simple sentence to make it neat and to easy the reader to read. And secondly, was commonly used were inverted headline and a statement headline. Statement headline give much information in a very simple word, in 2 or 3 sentences also. They make people want to read more, want to know more about the news. And then inverted headline fulfill 5 W1H in 2 or 3 words, 2 or 3 sentences. People will easier to find information. Maybe they want to read more, or they just stop there after reading the headline. Also, they have flash left headline. Flash left headline were put there on the left side headline. They are much bigger, much wider, so people will know where they have to read first. Sometimes in news online, we can identify where to read first. So in flash left headline, they put it on the left side, bigger than usual, so people will know where to read first.
I'm AINI, and I will talk about the lead of international newspaper. As stated, we have 10 types of international newspaper. From this 10 international newspaper, we have divided the lead into a percentage. 80% use summary lead, 10% use blind identification lead, and another 10% use descriptive lead. Here, I also include the definition for these 3 types of lead. Summary lead concisely tells the reader the main idea of the story. This kind of lead is used in straight news, and it answers right away all or any of the 5 W and H. Blind identification lead means if the person concerned is not well known in the community, his or her name is less important than other silent facts that identify the person. Descriptive lead. This type of lead emphasizes great detail to describe the scene or person that makes up the subject of the story. The idea is to create a visual impact.
Assalamualaikum, I am HANNAN. Alright, I will continue the other important element, which is inverted pyramid. It is a common method among journalists and the writers for writing news stories. If the writers fail to mention the most important, interesting, or attention-grabbing element of a story in the opening paragraph, it's called burying the lead. From various international newspapers that we have been reviewed, all of them use inverted pyramid in their writing. For example, the online news Independent, at the first paragraph or the lead, have answered all the 5 W and 1 H questions, and the writer continue with the important details such as facts and quotes. Then he concludes the news with quotes which is less important but still related to the news. And that's all from us, Group 4. Thank you.